What's going on, guys? Here's the mission that I just showed you guys how to make in the previous video. Basically, in the previous video, I showed you guys how to place all these modules, place a blacklist marker, and basically how to get all the basic insurgency modules, I guess, from ALiVE working in Reshman, which is a ARMA 2 custom-made map, which is 3 times the size of Takistan. And one thing I did forget is I forgot to tell you guys that you have to sync the profile system module to all the players. So basically this is so that players will be able to spawn AI when they come within range of them. These profiled units basically will be what is excluded from being despawned, I guess. Basically they're what's spawns the AI. I don't know, I'm over explaining. I don't even know how to explain it, but yeah. So we synced it to all the players now. We only have 5 total. I named the players. Make sure you name the players P1 through P2 to P3, you know, blah blah blah, all the way up to P17. Because in the init custom SQF folder or file, the players 1 through 17 or P1 through P17 initialize or utilize the advanced wounding system implemented in the mission. If you don't want to use the script for wounding and all that, and you instead want to use maybe AGM's or XMed Systems medical system, all you have to do is simply, you know, go into the folder for the mission, go into description, and I know I fucked this up last time in the last video, but you just cut this part out. AIS injury. Anything that says AIS injury, you just cut that out. You cut this out as well, or maybe this whole line right there. And that's just in the description extension file. And then go into the init custom file here, SQF file, and basically just delete everything from here all the way. Actually all the way up to here, yeah. And you just delete all that. But I'm not going to do that. So, and you'd also delete the AIS injury folder. Next, basically also I copied and pasted all the files from Takistan Insurgency into the Resh Insurgency folder. And except for the mission SQM file, because this is the mission that it's for this map. So if you copy the Takistan map mission SQM to Reshman, shit might be fucked up, so don't want to do that. Do not copy the mission SQM ever. Copy everything else though. So now we have string table, all this stuff. I got rid of the EPD folder because that's the randomly generated roadside IED script. And you need a lot of markers for that right now because I have it set up in the init custom here. Or is it not? Okay. I thought I had it. Yeah, no. In the EPD folder, it tries to spawn random IEDs and several markers that are not placed yet in this map. So we'll do that maybe in another video, or you can figure it out yourself. But I'll probably do it in another video just for convenience. But for now, I'm just gonna try to get you guys getting working the injury system, the respawning, all the intel and the cache system. The images is basically just a loading screen, which is pretty awesome, made by Phoenix, a guy in my group. And VAS. I'm actually having some kind of weird problem where it's telling me that it's missing from the description. Meanwhile, it's not. I don't know, that's right. I just literally copied and pasted it, so there's no reason why it shouldn't work, but whatever. Maybe I'll fix that later. But yeah. The faster open repair script should work automatically. The extra load basically is the vehicle repair, rearm, and refuel script. And basically, we're not going to do that for aircraft in this mission because all aircraft pretty much is going to be piloted by AI. But we're going to bring over the ground vehicle service thingy system. I don't know. It's basically going to be we're going to be copying a marker, a trigger, some objects, And that's it. Oh shit, I thought I deleted these barrels. I guess not. Alright, so I'm just gonna copy this little area here. Copy. Go back to Reshman. It's easier to copy and paste stuff than just show you how to place each individual thing. So I would just advise you to do that. It's not difficult to place it yourself, but it's just easier this way. It's already done. Alright, let's see. So now we have our vehicle service here. This will basically allow ground vehicles to drive up into this little service area. When they park, it'll basically refuel, rearm, and repair it. This will apply to tanks, hunters, off-roads, everything that's ground related. Let's put it there. I don't know. Doesn't matter where we put it. Also, make sure you create an empty marker and name it respawn_west base, and make sure the B is capital and everything else is lowercase. This is where players will respawn when they die. Also, make sure you create a flag object and name it airbase. Basically, this is what if you look in the init custom file here, is it this one? Yes, right here, this line here says that right now this is the only flagpole object that is being used as a respawn point. So right now all you see is airbase, but if you wanted to add more respawn areas, you just do comma, you know, base 2 or comma daddy's house. I don't know. Whatever. So airbase is going to be the name of the object for this flagpole. West means that blue 4 will be spawning here. True means that that players will also be allowed to spawn on their squad mates, and or group mates rather. They can't spawn on just people who are on the same team. They have to be in the same group. And this here just means the distance. If there's any enemies within 75 meters, players can't spawn on them until there are no longer enemies within 75 meters of the person you're trying to spawn on. So yeah. Okay, this line, technically we're not using this right now because there's no IEDs in the map yet, but we're just gonna leave it. There's no issues right now that I've noticed by just leaving it. In the next video I'll try to do a IED focus. What is next? So that will get the injury system working for you, I believe. Make sure you name all the players P1 through P17. Can't stress that enough. That's very important. Next is the respawn system, which we already covered pretty much. Is the flagpole. Name it airbase. You'll find the flagpole and empty. You know, side is empty. Class is objects. Unit will be flag. And it doesn't have to be USA. It could be fucking UK or whatever. Make sure you also create a marker. The text can say gear. It can say the text can say whatever you want it to say. But make sure the name of the marker is gear_marker. This marker is where the Task Force Arrowhead radio and Acre crates will be spawned if the server is using either add-on, radios add-on. And here I created a cached desk, although I wanted to place a bag of clothing. I can't find it though. I think maybe it's military. I don't know what the hell object I used last time. Doesn't matter. Let's make it a cache desk again. Whatever. You can make it any object. You can make it a unit, an actual, like, you know, a vehicle or whatever, and just attach this command line here. This, you know, add actions. I'll leave it here so that you guys can look at it. You could also go on the Takistan Insurgency mission SQM and then press Control F and then type gear space menu. Then when you press enter, it'll bring you to the command line here to copy and paste into your init. Only thing is when you copy stuff from a script, it double quotes stuff that's already quoted, so make sure you delete the double quotes. But in this case, we have the correct amount of quotes and stuff, so, and apostrophes. So I'm just gonna click OK. So now we have VAS, we have a gear menu, or not a gear menu, we have a the Acre crates and Task Force Arrowhead radio crates, respawn point, and a vehicle service area. These supply boxes don't belong here. Alright. What else do we need to do? That's basically, oh, also very important. Make sure you create a game logic. Go into the unit creation tool in the top left. This little man here. You double click in the bottom left or wherever, somewhere that's really way off from the map, and create a game logic. Make sure you name it hide player. And you'll have game logic hide player in the corner here. This is where a player will be moved when he dies, so that he can while he's spectating his teammates when he's trying to spawn on them or whatever, or if he wants to spawn at base. It's kind of like a workaround thingy. So also, but automatically you got core, enemy, and support will already be working. This is the intel and caching stuff. It'll automatically create markers all over the map where for intel and caches. Right now, it only creates intel and caches in towns supposedly, but it doesn't include other, like, it doesn't include cities or large towns or smaller villages, which is kind of annoying. So if anyone wants to help me get that, expand that part of the script, which is basically if you go into core, maybe scripts, nope. Go into core modules, grid markers, I think it's create markers or something like that. I don't know. Maybe functions, I don't know. I can't remember exactly. It's in one of these folders. Basically, it's either in core, enemy, or support. But I think it's in core somewhere. But it'll automatically create, you know, markers and stuff like that. Already explained that though. So if anyone wants to help me expand it so that it also creates markers and intel and caches in more areas, more types of areas, that would be great. Because this area right here, Jebariah, I don't even think grid markers will be created there. Just because of maybe the town is not classified as what the script is looking for to you know, place intel in. So, what else? What is next? VAS is already implemented, alright. I believe I explained everything properly. We haven't done the IED stuff, just gotta say that again. So now what we're gonna do is just do a quick test. A very fucking quick little test. Make sure everything's working, nothing's broken. Make sure the game doesn't crash and say that, you know, something's trying to initialize that's not even in the, like, make sure the scripts aren't trying to be initialized that aren't in the mission, like the IED script, which I already have it initializing, but it's not really a problem. Make sure, like, the description isn't trying to, like, initialize stuff either that's not in the mission. And hopefully VAS is going to be working. If VAS isn't working right now, personally, I have no fucking idea why it wouldn't be working. I copied and pasted it and made no changes to it. So, let's wait a second actually. Wait for VAS to load maybe, I don't know, or initialize. So here you can see that on this gear marker we've created, which we named gear_marker, it has created or automatically created a Task Force Arrowhead radio crate, because I'm running Task Force Arrowhead radio. This is a radio communications mod that is truly better than Acre. But if you guys prefer Acre, it'll instead spawn an Acre crate if you are running Acre. And here you have a VAS. VAS never initialized. This means CFG functions.hpp was never called via description.extension, which is bullshit. So, oh well, I'll figure that out. Maybe I have to restart the game. I don't know, but I did not blacklist the base for civilians, so because a lot of the things in Arma 2, you know, a lot of objects and structures are considered houses, even though they're military objects, like a military strategic building. It's gonna still spawn civilians and stuff here, so we got a random civilian staring at the wall here. So if you want, you could blacklist this area and you won't see civilians kind of chilling out. So you got civilians out in the distance over there, walking from left to right. I've never actually played in this mission, so this base looks fucking cool. I am very tempted to start shifting focus to this map soon, but I'm not gonna do that, but I want to. Alright, so if you look at the map, you got the vehicle service menu here, and if you zoom out even more, you can see all these red markers. All those red markers are where you'll find where you may find intel or weapons caches to destroy, and the intel will lead to those caches. But you'll notice that there's a lot of areas that don't have red grid squares, and there's towns everywhere. Like I think there's 200 villages in this mission, or in this map, so this is definitely not 200 red grid squares. Because if you look at this shot over here, pretty big town, with even an airfield, but only 2 red grid squares in the center, you know what I mean? So I would like this to be expanded so that more areas are considered red grid squares. You know what I mean? So hopefully someone is out there that is good at scripting that can just be like, here's the script that fixes this shit, and I can just throw it into Takistan Insurgency, this version, and all the other versions I ported over to other maps. So I would be very appreciative of that. If not, then whatever. Then we just gotta deal with just a few. It's still a good amount of grid squares, though. It'll take you at least 5 minutes to fly from base all the way over to here, so there's definitely a lot of areas to clear. And like I said before, or maybe I haven't said it before, but enable ghosting and enable teleporting. But just because an area is red does not mean that it is hostile. Green and red areas are just visual cues that there could be intel or caches there. If it's green, that means that there weren't any insurgents in the area when you first went into it, but that does not mean that insurgents will not reoccupy it, and it will not change color, unfortunately. But yeah, so. And also green does not mean that there's no intel there. It just means, you know, there wasn't bad guys there to begin with. So, yeah. And also, there are, in this entire map, there is civilians and insurgents. Not just in red grid squares, but also where there aren't red grid squares. So, this whole, look at this. This whole area is like a whole village complex or whatever. And there's no red grid squares, but I guarantee you if I go right here, it will be occupied with civilians and insurgents. Guaranteed. So I left click on the map. I'm on ghosting mode, so the insurgents won't acknowledge my presence. Let's give it a second to load up. See, we got a civilian up there. There should be insurgents somewhere. Nope, there's a civilian just hanging out on the roof. If you have a authentic gameplay modification, which I highly endorse, you just press next to your right control button is a app menu key. Just press that, and it'll bring up an interaction menu when you're looking at a civilian, and you can tell him to get down or go away. Tell him to get down, and he does it. Fucking awesome. Press your app menu. You could also, control app menu. do other things as well. I don't know what that did, but alright. Alright. So there's no insurgents over here. This guy's listening to music. Alright. So wasn't a guys there, but what about over here, next complex? It's randomly, this is all dynamic too. Just because there weren't guys there doesn't mean there won't be guys there next time. Or the time after that. It's, you know, 10% chance per house that it'll be occupied or have guys patrolling the compound and stuff like that, so. What the hell? Oh, this guy's glitched into the floor. This house specifically, this is something I actually wanted to bring up last time in the bugs video, but I totally forgot, is that these houses specifically have an area right here where this guy's head is kind of sinking into. Right here, sometimes intel or caches will sink through the floor, and the only way to make sure that there's nothing is you go prone here and you just lean to the side, and you'll be able to see if there's intel sinking through the floor or whatever. It's a bit of an exploit, but until it gets fixed. There's no insurgents, so my point is not being proven really. Let's go into camera mode. There's really no insurgents. What the fuck? Let's go over here. Let's give it a second. So we have ambient vehicles ambient vehicle placement for civilians very low. So it's like one vehicle per town usually. If you set it to medium, that usually be two vehicles, and high will be 3, and I think extreme will be 4. It's random, but that's usually what it is. Only one guy. What the hell was? I just tested this too before, and there were 2 snipers that basically went up in a 2-story onto the roof of this building. Well, just take my word for it that oh, yep, there we go. Perfect, thank you. And there's snipers too. Oh no, one's a sniper, or one has an SDV anyway, and the other one has a AK-47. And this is over here, hundreds of meters away from the red grid square. So that's proof enough that there can be enemies elsewhere, and it might get even more populated. Like, yeah, there we go. This is the military civilian placement module at work by the OPCOM module. Basically, even though this is not a red grid square, it's technically a strategic point because it's a large town by the OPCOM module, and so you'll see large groups of, large squads or platoons of guys, or even off-roads carrying guys, technicals that are armed, stuff, transporting guys, moving through the areas, trying to maintain control of all the villages and towns and industrial complexes and so on. What else we got? A lot of civilians is running around. The civilians are probably running around because they're extremely hostile to Blue 4, so that means they don't like being around Blue 4, or they just are very suspicious of them. Or maybe they're just going for a jog, that too. Sometimes they just run around. And over here, we're not quite in the grid square yet. I think I've demonstrated enough, but yeah, wow. Huge amounts of insurgents, though. The reason, if you're wondering why does the map look so dead, like as far as activity goes, like you're wondering why maybe there's not so many insurgents or occupying buildings or civilians, it's because at the start of the mission, ALiVE has to initialize, which could take from 5 minutes to 20 minutes. It depends on the power of the computer that the server is running on, and it's also kind of because of bottlenecked by Arma itself, but it's basically spawning guys or it's profiling areas all over the map for each building, each position where guys can spawn. It's also taking note of strategic areas and all that shit. So while the AIs at work are ready and stuff, so it could take a while. So this area will likely be even more populated if you waited here for an hour, but or waited 20 minutes after the server initialized, it'll definitely be more popular. Unless the civilians decided to migrate, like this guy here seemed to have run from either the village over there or over there. So anyway, I think I'm kind of like just watching them because it's cool to see how this is dynamic, completely random. Like, you will not see huge groups like this all the time in this area. They might be somewhere else, they could be, maybe they'll be over here one time, another time they'll be over here, another time they'll be maybe this whole village will be clear and you'll see a ton of guys somewhere else at a different village. It's completely dynamic and it's fucking awesome. So yeah, anyway, sorry for kind of getting lost in the coolness of the mod. I really like this though. This is fucking cool as shit. Yeah, this is really cool. I like this map a lot. It's my user action 20 here. Let's set the view distance really high. Fuck it. Let's go insane mode. 20,000, 20 kilometers basically. Set the terrain grid to 0 though, just to improve performance. So in any direction I look, I can see basically infinite, but it's not so useful because there's a lot of hills rolling around, so... Oh man, that's so smooth. Jesus Christ. I'm recording right now and it's this smooth. That's insane. What's my frames right now? 60 frames. Jesus Christ. Above 60. And the mission is still initializing all the scripts and ALiVE and stuff. So that just goes to show how... Oh my god, this game is great. So anyway, I'm sorry guys for taking forever. Maybe if you guys are bored, this isn't so bad, but yeah. Also, by the way, last but not least, I created a game logic. You just click on the little man up here, click on the map, create a game logic, name it server, click OK, and then this basically, I don't know exactly what this does. I think it basically makes sure that the AI, it lets the mission know that it's being run on a server and that the AI's waypoints seem to work better when I have this game logic placed. I asked around if it's even necessary to have it placed, but no one answers me, so, and one person told me that it is necessary, so I'm gonna leave it. So yeah. And another guy from the ALiVE dev team actually told me that it doesn't really matter, so I'm gonna leave it there. So, just to be safe. Anyway, is that everything? I feel like I'm missing so much. Just to make sure. Oh my god, how long is this video? I spent so much time. It's 30 minutes, Jesus Christ. I'm sorry guys, god damn it. I talk so much, this game is awesome. I love this mission, like I said, I'm not trying to pat myself on the back. I mean, I'm impressed how far I've come with this, but it's mainly, I give a lot of the credit to everyone who's helped me with this mission, and definitely most of the credit to the ALiVE dev team and the guys who created the insurgency, the quick little insurgency scripts for me to use for intel and caches, because without them, this mission would be a lot worse. So yeah, anyway, I believe I've included everything. Oh, let's change this in the description. Let's change the name of the mission to Rish. Whatever. anyway, hopefully you guys have learned something from this, or it was useful. I think it kind of is wasted time, but hopefully not. Oh yeah, this area here, I copied and pasted from my Takistan Insurgency mission. I probably should have said that before. I don't know if I did that already. I don't know. So, I have bad memory. So, anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Sorry for the long durations of my videos. I ramble a lot. But hopefully you get... If you guys like these videos, then I'll keep doing videos like this, because I can do this shit all day. So, let me know what you want me to do a video on, and I will probably do it. Or if you need more information, let me know, and I'll probably redo the video. So, anyway. See ya.